advice and opinions expressed by Dr. Granpeesheh and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice.
Doreen Granpeesheh is Dr. Doreen is an expert in watching. Doreen Granpeesheh. Dr. Granpeesheh. Doreen Granpeesheh. Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now, if you can ask questions, ask Dr. Doreen.
Sarah has written and said, with AI developing at such a fast rate,
Yeah.
what skills would you now have less focus on and maybe more focus on given AI might support language? Is the ABA field looking into adopting AI? Someone has written in and said, no, it can't be reliant on AI, but I think reliant is the word. We just had a guest on the show the other day with AI software for ABA. But I know this is a subject very near and dear to your heart.
I'm really into AI. Yeah. Sarah, it's a great question. And also I want to say, Daniel, I understand where you're coming from as well. Yes. I mean, first of all, there's lots of different applications of AI. One of the first, so AI is very interesting because it is a computerized process that looks at past information and tries to generate what a behavior or response or something would be based on that past information. So for example, a lot of us use ChatGPT, and it is based on thousands and thousands and thousands of entries that it has digested. And so now you can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a resume. And it knows how to write a resume, and it requests information from you, and it'll get it going for you. Okay, so
emphasis on get it going.
Get it going.
Somebody still has to check it.
You will go back and check it and fix it, yes, but it does help with a lot of progress. Now, how does that apply to, and let me tell you, we're also looking at AI for efficiencies within the operational portion of card, for instance, and other businesses, because it does help reduce manual labor. Let's put it that way. Like, every time we want to get a therapist or a BCBA authorized to provide services with a particular insurance company, somebody has to put in a ton of information into a form. AI can do that. So that helps. Now, with regards to the clinical side of things, which is really interesting and important, many, many years ago, we started to use what's called machine learning. Machine learning is the basis on which AI could be developed. Machine learning is a computer going in and looking at thousands of millions of data points and analyzing and looking to see if there are patterns in those data points, so that an AI algorithm could jump on that and say, hey, based on this pattern, this is what we're going to do next. So we started doing machine learning with a lot of the data that we collect on our thousands of kids over the years. Of course, it's all unidentified data. So it's just pure numbers and data, not who it belongs to. When you look at those, we were able to publish a study that said, hey, we're looking at 16 specific phenotypes, subtypes of autism. We published that. That was in 2016, I think, a long time ago. So it was more about, okay, this is interesting. Now, why did we do that? The reason we did that was because going forward, for any child who enters an ABA program, we wanted to be able to take the characteristics of that child and see which phenotype they belong to. Because if we are able to identify the child's specific subtype faster, it'll help us be able to help that child faster. I mean, as you all know, there's lots and lots of different types of autism. There are children who are visual learners. There are children who have food selectivity, great example. There are children who do very well with, iPads as a reinforcer. There are children who are very hyperactive. So identifying their phenotype helps us look at that subset and look at the kids who did really, really well in that subset and figure out all the things we have to do for that subset as opposed to the whole spectrum of autism. So that's one way that AI is going to help. Now, also, I do want to say, gamification or producing games is another AI type of thing, right? Where you take a subject, and if you think about all educational games, where there's nothing wrong with them, they're awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, you look at a game made by Sesame Street. My kids used to play these games, right, with Elmo, right?
Right.
And it shows, like, touch pink or, whatever it is. And as the child did it, then they received a whole, ooh, yay, and all that. Many years ago, we produced a series of games called Camp Discovery. They are on the app library.
Yeah.
And Camp Discovery teaches our kids based on ABA like systems. So it has kind of a discrete trial thing built under it, into it, so that the same process where you receive something, you're rewarded if you get it correct. If you're not, you're prompted. It's like the same algorithm that we use in therapy. And so we put in the first like few games, right? A few lessons, the earliest lessons like colors, numbers, alphabet, those types of things. And we are actually, now that AI has advanced so much, we are looking at making more games for our kids. Now, Daniel, to answer your question, I agree with you. There's a limit to that. And we were doing this because over time, we want to be able to take advantage of every awake hour of the child. So if the child's sitting in the back of the car, we want them on Camp Discovery or whatever we end up naming the new gamification. But we want them learning. We want them learning from these things, right? But if it gets to a point where the child has mastered all this stuff, we do actually want them observing.
Yeah.
We do actually want the child to interact with people, because there are subtleties that no chat bot or AI robot or anything has yet to be able to conquer and understand. So definitely facial expression, being able to read body language, being able to socialize and converse back and forth. These are things that are still not advanced in the world of AI. And I don't believe that we will ever fully depend on AI, but I think we can use AI to help supplement and increase the learning of our kids, because it can make things more efficient.
Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.